What is the difference between line of control and line? I said it's only a name. Line of control, LOC, is the name given between India and Pakistan just to distinguish. Okay, line of actual control is between India and China. Otherwise, no difference. It is the name. Please understand that way. Okay, and both are not international boundary. This is the de facto boundaries. Okay, now coming to another interesting thing called CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. A couple of points I would like to discuss. Okay, CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So this China-Pakistan Economic Corridor was, initiated by itself, and at that in 2015 as a $46 billion project. One second. $46 billion project. Okay, it was initially. Now subsequently it has been increased up to $80 billion. We don't know. Okay, subsequently the rate has been gone up to 80. Now it is it's an investment project. Okay, it's an investment plan by China. Okay, it's an investment plan by China in Pakistan, which was declared in 2015, and it is a rail, road, even power plants, various infrastructure projects, between Pakistan and China. And if you look at that, one second. Let me just take the picture. One second. CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Okay, this is what I am trying to show you. Okay, and it is starting from Gwadar, Arabian Sea. You can see, Karachi is here. Then it starts from a place called Gwadar, and rail as well as road connectivity. One is directly going through Balochistan, another goes to Karachi, Hyderabad. You can see there's in Pakistan there's the Hyderabad. Okay, from it will go to Karachi, Hyderabad, and then going towards the north, one line goes through Quetta and another goes through Lahore. You can see Lahore, then Islamabad, and then through our Pakistan occupied Kashmir, it is going to a place called Kashgar, Kashgar. Okay, this connectivity, it goes to a place in China called Kashgar. You see, Kashgar in China, that is very close to this Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, so and Tajikistan and all. Okay, you can see this Kashgar. So Kashgar to Gwadar. You see Gwadar. Gwadar, and where is road rail connectivity to Kashgar. I hope you can see that. And as far as the projects are concerned, energy sector 33.79. I mean, that was the official original declaration in 2015. Things have changed subsequently. Please understand this. So 34 billion dollar for energy, various coal projects and hydroelectric power projects. Transport, almost $11 billion. Gwadar Port, $0.66 billion. Fiber optics, 0.04. The total, investment at that time talked about was 45.69, almost $46 billion investment. And many of them were coal-fired power stations. Almost 2/3 of the projects were supposed to be some hydropower projects in the POK and all. But otherwise, you see, these are all power plants, coal-fired power plants being set up. Okay, so $46 billion project, and this is called Pakistan, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Okay, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, and also let me just add one more. Why and this kind of a project in a big way? Okay, now you see this map. You will get some clarity why China is very keen. Well, you may be asking, see, they are investing 46 at that time. Now, subsequently, the total investment, they talked about almost $80 billion. And it is supposed to be invested in 2-3 years. Why Pakistan or why China is doing this? Why China is doing such a favor to Pakistan? That is the question, and some answer will be here only. See, now you see, this, otherwise, if you look at China, the China's economy is fully dependent on trade, export, and China is also equally dependent on import of oil, because China don't have much of petroleum oil. Please understand, 80% of oil requirement comes from outside, and the Chinese trade predominantly happens through this Malacca Strait. You can see this, a very narrow strait between Malaysia and Indonesia, and then it comes to China here through South China Sea. This is the South China Sea, and through the South China Sea it reaches China. So 80% of the trade, and the China always fears that this Malacca Strait is very vulnerable. Now you see this. It is passing through this Malacca Strait. If I just remove it, you can understand. So when it comes here, it's a very narrow region. The narrowest point in this region is just 1.5 kilometers wide. And this region is fully controlled by the US, whether it is Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. Singapore is here. This is Singapore. And all these countries are under the influence of the US. And Chinese are always afraid of this being blocked. Okay, because the other regions are not through this and all, it cannot travel, because this is not navigable. It's a very shallow region here, and this is the only navigable region in this point. So China is always afraid of this being blocked. So China always want alternate routes. And according to them, one alternate route could be through Pakistan. That is why China is very keen to start a port here, and from here, if we can pass through and reach through the Pakistan occupied Kashmir and reaching Kashgar, means you are bypassing, and the advantage is you can bypass this Malacca Strait. And also, they are also keen to have a similar facility from Myanmar into China, so that again you can bypass the Malacca Strait. So one of the fundamental reasons why China-Pakistan economic corridor is being talked about by China, and why China is willing to invest so much of money in Pakistan, one fundamental reason for China is they want to bypass the Malacca Strait. One fundamental reason is this. And everything else is secondary for China. So strategic interest. China has a great strategic interest in, and this CPEC is subsequently clubbed to the Belt and Road Initiative of China, BRI. See, in 2015, when the CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, was initiated, there is no mention about the Belt and Road Initiative. When China and Pakistan announced in 2015, this Belt and Road Initiative was not there. Subsequently, the Belt and Road Initiative came up in a big way. And then they clubbed that this is also part of the Belt and Road Initiative. Okay, so this is the situation as far as the, in April 2015, this was announced, $46 billion project was announced. It is an economic corridor from Gwadar. Once again, I am repeating, it is Gwadar to Kashgar in western China, and in the Xinjiang, it is in the western province, it's called the Xinjiang province. In the Xinjiang province. And the money China is planning to pour into Pakistan is more than twice the amount of all foreign direct investment Pakistan received after maybe 2008. I mean, in fact, much more than the total amount Pakistan can even imagine. We can say it is a huge investment, and it is much more than the total aid given by US to Pakistan. $46 billion at that time. Subsequently, many said that it is almost 80 billion, even though there is no clarity regarding how much is the actual money. So it's a combination of transport, energy projects, even developing this deep sea port in Gwadar, and so that China will have an access to Indian Ocean directly bypassing the Malacca Strait. And according to the experts, or rather according to China and Pakistan, this will create a lot of jobs in Pakistan, and it will spark economic activity in Pakistan. Economic activity in Pakistan. It will spark economic activity in Pakistan, and it will, you know it very well. Pakistan was not growing the way it should have been growing. There are a lot of economic problems in Pakistan. Many people started saying that this is a solution to the problems of Pakistan. And the only thing some of the people, if at all the critics or the skeptics had a doubt, if at all there was a doubt, the only doubt was relating to the execution and the timely execution. That was the idea. So this is according, and many experts have even said that this is after the Indus Water Treaty. After the Indus Water Treaty of 1960, the greatest opportunity which Pakistan got after the Indus Water Treaty, a historic moment, because China said $46 billion to be invested, and subsequently many said it may be up to $80 billion. It's a historic moment for Pakistan, and it will also control the militants and everything. Okay, so that is what. Otherwise, this Xinjiang province The western province is, the Turkish people, Turkish origin Muslim people in this Chinese province. Okay, and it is in a region of unrest in China also. So this economic development will resolve all these problems. That is what everybody talked about at that time. And it's almost 3,000 kilometers long corridor. And the why China did it, why right now, what is the intention behind the Chinese project? And as I was mentioning, first of all, China wants to cement their relationship with Pakistan, the Pakistan friendship, and they claim that it's an all-weather friendship. It is an all-weather friendship, and Pakistan always claimed that this the friendship with China is higher than the Himalayas and deeper than the oceans. That's what they used to claim, and they are sweeter than the honey and all those things they used to say. So that is the kind of they can reinforce the friendship, absolutely no doubt. And also for Pakistan, China is a less troublesome donor. Okay, China less conditions. China put lesser conditions than the Western world. That is what, and they are also a supplier of military hardware and all to Pakistan. So, but lesser interference. That is what Pakistan always feels. And also, for the Chinese, as I said, the relationship has a geostrategic significance. For China, the geostrategic, because they can access to Indian Ocean bypassing Malacca Strait. Okay, so that is not a small thing, and it is the shortest access for China to the Middle East and Africa. It is the shortest access to Middle East or to the West Asia and to the Africa. And this can definitely help, because the Chinese oil can reach easily. It's a pipeline will be there, road will be there, rail will be there. So shortest access, and also it will help in the development of the Western China. The landlocked Western China, the development of the Western China will be taken care, the Xinjiang province. And also it can resist or rather prevent the militant activities and all. Also, when, as I was mentioning, this will help China to cement the relationship with Pakistan. So that is why they have started this. And most importantly, China has almost $3 trillion foreign exchange reserve. Okay, India has around $550 billion. India is talking about $550 billion right now. But China talks about $3 trillion, 3,000 billion. So they have huge foreign exchange reserve with them. They can use this foreign exchange reserve. And also, this Belt and Road Initiative, you know it very well today. China can use their surplus labor for the projects. So China is seeing all those things. China is seeing surplus labor can be used in the project, and China can use their companies for the project. So, and China can use their surplus foreign exchange reserve, and China can also, and these are not aid. Please not understand, this is not aid. China wants return, and it is a costly investment also. According to many experts, these are costly investments by China. Meaning, it is not a cheap investment. The returns are very high, the interest rates are high, and it can even lead to a debt trap. That is what many critics are saying. Even Pakistan may end up in a debt trap, according to critics. But whatever it is, China is not doing any charity. It is getting an alternate route to Arabian Sea. It will be able to use their surplus foreign exchange reserve. It will be able to use their workers. They can give jobs to their people. So there are multiple things they are also looking. So this Chinese activity is geared towards boosting the domestic income. Ultimately, this will lead to the increase in income of the Chinese, not the increase in income of the Pakistanis. Okay, anyway, so that is how, whether it is a sustainable growth and all, time only will tell. Okay, so this is what China has done. And now in 2020, so it is 5 years before, 2015 this was announced. What is the takeaway in 2020? See, according to many experts, in August 2020, in a review, according to independent experts, it was found that out of the 122 projects announced, and when the announcement took place, it was said that these projects will be over within 2 years, 3 years, like that. And only around 32 projects have been completed. Only around 32 projects have been completed, or roughly around $20 billion have been invested. $20 billion invested. And the total investment by this time has reached up to $87 billion projected. It started with $46 billion, subsequently it increased to more than $80 billion, $87 billion projected, $20 billion has been invested. And but still this $20 billion is a significant amount, no doubt regarding that. Okay, and by 2018, Pakistan, but with all these things, it was supposed to be Pakistan economy would have been growing, Pakistan would have been coming out of the debt trap and everything. But actually, please understand what happened is, by 2018, if you look at the reality, Pakistan was again facing unsustainable debt levels, and Pakistan asked for assistance from China, Saudi Arabia, okay, from US, from UAE. Pakistan was asking for assistance in servicing the debt. In servicing the debt, they were asking support from China, Saudi Arabia, UAE, etc. In 2019, China received a bailout package from IMF. IMF package from IMF, and the economic growth in 2019 has slowed down to 3.3% GDP growth. In 2019, the economic growth has slowed down to 3.3%, and the inflation was high. When the fiscal deficit increased. Okay, inflation increased, fiscal deficit again increased. So whatever claims they were made, nothing has worked. And but obviously CPEC may not be responsible for all these troubles, but Pakistan could not come out of their economic problem, and there was a lot of environmental issues attached to the Chinese projects. Environmental issues. Attached to Chinese projects. There are many environmental issues. And, because, many of these projects, out of this $87 billion promise, many of these projects were coal-based. Almost 40% of the projects, 40% of the total investment were coal-based power plants. And there are many issues attached to the, you know it very well, global warming, pollution, etc., etc. And the kind of promise of the increase in the value chain, okay, Pakistan into a higher value manufacturing hub. That is what it was promised it was promised at that time, that Pakistan will be converted into a higher value manufacturing hub. That did not take place, did not happen till now, and things are not working. And many of the SEZs, the special economic zones, okay, the special economic zones in which we started, it remain empty. The manufacturing did not start the way it wanted. So, the kind of projects which were talked about and the kind of economic boost which has been talked about, it has not happened in Pakistan, despite almost $20 billion already invested by 2020, even though the total promise has increased to $87 billion. Initially in 2015, the promise was $46 billion. But yes, it is a huge investment. It is right now, it is part of the Belt and Road Initiative. The fear among the experts and the critics is that this will ultimately lead to Pakistan, lead Pakistan into a debt trap. And the second phase of CPEC, and then there is a review recently in 2019. A review meeting was held in 2019, and the second phase of CPEC was talked about, and it was promised that there is an economic stimulus in the economic industrialization will take place and all. But nothing of that sort has happened. Pakistan still continues to struggle with their economy. They're struggling to repay their, meet their foreign exchange reserve. So the kind of promises which was given by China, as far as Pakistan is concerned, it has not materialized. But China is able to extract their, their pound of flesh, we can say, because they got an access to Indian Ocean, to Arabian Sea, through Pakistan, through our POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So they have got that. Now, that is the situation as far as this is concerned, but there is no major improvement in Pakistan's life. That is what people are talking. Now, one more point I would like to add here is, what is India's stand? See, earlier, during the previous Manmohan Singh government's time, when this, when CPEC was talked about before signing it, India did not object at that time. India said, if you are, if some economic progress is taking place through POK and all, we will not be officially, supporting or objecting. India's stand was a bit of neutral during the previous, UPA government's time. But when Prime Minister Modi came to power, we have taken an open, aggressive, stand against the CPEC. So our position as far as the BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, or CPEC is, because CPEC is a part of Belt and Road Initiative. Right now, India's position is we oppose CPEC because it is passing through the India claimed Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Without India's consent, this project should not be there. That is what India's position. But Pakistan and China are continuing with their project. We are not able to do anything. We are not able to stop anything. But we are officially opposed. So we are not having any, we have openly asked Pakistan and China not to do this project. So India has openly opposed. India is against this project right now. That is the situation as far as the official position. But ideally, what I personally feel, and as a part of the analysis, let me just put this way. We should not have been openly and aggressively opposing to this project, because anyway, POK is with Pakistan. Pakistan occupied Kashmir. We will not be in a position to capture it back in any case. We should have been, even if we oppose Pakistan is constructing, China is constructing, we could not stop construction. we could not stop the construction, and construction is still going on. The connectivity will continue. The road link, the road rail pipeline link between Kashgar and Gwadar will take place, and it is going to take place. So by opposing also, it does not change anything in the reality. But I personally felt that, and many experts were also telling this. We, rather than opposing it, we should have been claiming. We should have said that, see, POK is our territory. You are constructing a road through that. Okay, no problem. So we need access. We need access to this road, rail, pipeline, so that we can have access to Central Asia. We can have access to Central Asia. See, in this map, you can very clearly see from here going into Central Asia. Our biggest problem when it comes to Central Asia is we have no connectivity to Central Asia. From India, from Punjab, if you can get linked to this road, imagine for a second from Amritsar, if you get into this, into Lahore and this road, through this road, if you reach Kashgar, and from Kashgar we can go to Central Asia. Our trade problems with Central Asia, with Uzbekistan, with Tajikistan, and if there is a pipeline already here, and using this pipeline, we can transport oil and natural gas from Central Asia to India. Now, what I am saying is, rather than opposing, had we insisted that India also should have a role in this, India also should have an access to Central Asia through this project, Pakistan and China would have been on the defensive. Anyway, our position, India, this is only had we been doing like this. Okay, it's not that is the only way. India has opposed it tooth and nail, but Pakistan and China is constructing that. The project is still on. Okay, so the CPEC is still going on. India will not be able to stop anything. We will not be able to stop doing anything. And they are constructing, they are in the process of completing the project. Even though they claimed that within 3 years they will complete and all, they could not stop it. That is the only thing they are saying. What is Belt and Road? We will talk about that separately. That is a major infrastructure project initiated by China, connecting China with Europe. Okay, we will talk about that separately. Right now, so CPEC is a part of, please understand that much only, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor right now, according to China, is a part of their Belt and Road initiative that I will talk about separately. Okay, so we have to study from the from the PDF. Somebody is asking, sir, कब PDF से पढ़ने